Good morning and welcome into the Untitled Wrestling Project with Tubby Emus. We talk WWE news from the past couple days. Breaking news coming out of SmackDown. We have the Survivor Series teams set up. I have to be honest with you, it's an interesting concept for Survivor Series this year. They went back to, obviously, AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. This is version 2 of the match, which I'm absolutely pumped for. I'm elated for. I still think this has been the plan all along, that Brock Lesnar was going to win the title back, that Roman Reigns won it at SummerSlam to break Brock Lesnar's reign of 500-plus days, to allow AJ Styles going into WrestleMania to really be pushing that title. But the thing that really affects with that is what's going to happen with Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Will that be for the WWE Championship? We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but let's start off right away with the teams. Raw still has yet to announce the team with Captain Alexa Bliss, but over on SmackDown, we know who is going to be on Team SmackDown. At least 4 out of the 5 women who will be a part of the team. We have Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, and Asuka as of so far. Mandy Rose, for those that don't know, came out and pretty much berated everybody on the roster, went after Naomi and her husband, and she got absolutely sent back to life, snatched her bald, as WWE Twitter would say, which I thought that was very interesting and intriguing because I'm a Mandy Rose guy. Just like Corey Graves pops from Mandy Rose every single time. I think Mandy Rose has got something, and we'll figure out what that is eventually. But coming from Tough Enough as Amanda, hey, Mandy is crushing it. Also on the show, we found out who was going to be on the 5-on-5 team for the men's SmackDown team. We know it's going to be The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and of course the greatest in the world, Shane McMahon. And I have to be honest with you, if Shane McMahon put up this idea that I will not lose to my sister, I will do whatever it takes, then I'm all for it, man. He did exactly what it would take to win at WWE Crown Jewel, to get that respect for SmackDown. SmackDown is the one that's going to be going to the big primetime network with Fox. So they got people talking. I think he did his job in the terms of everybody is talking about Shane McMahon. Whether you watch the show or not, that's up to you. I can't tell you what to watch. I can't know, as my little cousin would say, if you decided to dive in and be a part of that adventure. Also on the Survivor Series card, we have Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch, which I'm highly excited for. You have Seth Rollins versus Schinsky Nakamura. One of the things, I thought a lot of these matches, I was pretty much definite set on AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar in the triple threat if Roman Reigns had not had to pull out due to leukemia. By the way, still in every video I'm going to say it, Roman Reigns, Joe, kick leukemia's ass. I want you back better than ever. But I did overlook the women's match. I knew it was going to be Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles 2. I knew Brock Lesnar was winning the title back in that triple threat if Roman was still here. I don't care what Dave Meltzer said reportedly. Normally I stick up for Meltzer, but in this case, I am choosing to believe that Roman Reigns beat his reign at SummerSlam. He was going to go on for 2 months until Dean turned, cost Roman the title, and then Brock Lesnar would have walked away with it. But when it comes to that match, I totally forgot that Ronda versus Charlotte's a match that, they kind of wanted to save and keep in their back pocket. So as Becky Lynch, I thought maybe Becky Lynch could lose in the lead up to Charlotte so Charlotte could face. But I was like, oh, wait, they're not going to do that. They're going to do Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. So that'll be a good match. I know Ronda Rousey just announced on a podcast either yesterday or the day before that her dream opponent in WWE is Sasha Banks, which is kind of crazy to think about, that their paths necessarily haven't crossed yet in WWE. And I think that's one thing WWE does better than anything right now, is there are so many dream matchups that people look at it and go, they're burying talent. Well, they're not. I don't think they're burying talent. I think they're prolonging feuds. Look at how long Becky Lynch, after being the champion in 2015, 2016, whatever it was, on SmackDown, kind of carrying that blue brand for most of the year, and then pretty much getting sent down to the let's just call it the mid card on SmackDown Live, and now she is the champion. That struggle that she put in, whether you want me to tell you that or not, I can't. Like I said, I can't know if you're gonna react to that any different, because you just want Becky Lynch to be champion. You don't want to hear somebody tell you constantly, "Hey nerd, shut the hell up. I'm a Becky Lynch fan." You don't need to tell me about how payoffs work. But it made it better. The fact that Becky Lynch has gone through all these struggles is fantastic. And I think Finn Balor is on that same course. So, to see these matches at Survivor Series is kind of surreal. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Very excited for that match. AOP versus The Bar. Very, very excited for that match. And I think this is the first time looking at the card on Survivor Series. I'm actually pumped. I'm 100% pumped from the early look of this pay-per-view. The top 3 headliner matches, the champion versus champion matches, are fantastic. AOP versus The Bar is a fantastic matchup with Seth Rollins. You know, I always knew that AOP at some point would be transitional champions and they would win the title. I believed at some point they were going to beat the B team and, you know, take out the B team and end their reign. WWE didn't pull the trigger on that one, which I'm glad they didn't, because I love the fact that they destroyed Seth Rollins. Because there's still the fantasy book in the back of my head when you talk fantasy booking is Roman Reigns working with AOP at some point in time. And oh my God, if Roman Reigns came back, and I couldn't even imagine that. That'd be absolutely fantastic. As far as the 5-on-5 match, I said who was on the SmackDown team, but they're going to be going up against Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, and 2 people still to be determined, with Baron Corbin as the champion, as Drew McIntyre absolutely, definitively, 100% all out, verbally, viciously, and physically destroyed Kurt Angle. Drew McIntyre, in the video I made yesterday, talked about Brock Lesnar, why he's the champion we need right now. People are like, no, it's got to be Drew. That guttural feeling that you get that says, no, I want Braun to be champion. I want Drew to be champion. Here's why. That's what WWE plays upon. That's what they can, like, draw out, because they know what you want, and when they finally give it to you, they're going to be like, see, nerd, you paid us for 3 months, and you still got what you wanted anyway. So I think that could be a huge match. If they don't give us Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar like I truly want, like I want that match at WrestleMania, I think they're going to do Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, where, you know, Braun can finally win the title on the grandest stage of them all, because not everybody tunes in to WWE Crown Jewel. Not everybody tunes in to SummerSlam. But WrestleMania, you have even guys in like the Call of Duty community, Optic or whatever, watching WrestleMania. The one time a year they decide to do it. And if you're going to do it the one time they decide to do it, my man was with Nicholas last year and won the tag team titles all by himself. Well, now he can go in and beat Brock Lesnar on the grandest stage of them all and win the WWE Universal title. So I'm very excited for that possibility. But if we don't get that match, Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre is the match that I think would absolutely knock the socks off of anything going into WWE right now. So as far as the tag team match, they're doing a 10-on-10 Survivor Series tag team elimination match. The Usos versus the New Day faced off on Survivor Series. And I'm pretty sure we know who's all going to be in the match. You're going to have, you know, teams like the Ascension, Breezango, probably Dash and Dawson, who are, you know, doing some phenomenal work right now on Main Event. If you don't watch Main Event, and I don't blame you, it's not an eye on television anymore when it used to be the poppin' thing to do, because, you know, Undertaker was on that show once, and if Undertaker's on your show, it's the biggest thing going. But they're just doing tag team wrestling, man. The promos they're dropping are pretty fantastic, so it's great to see them putting in some work. I expect them to be a part of the match, but the Usos are the captains of the 10-on-10. And when you're at the Uso Penitentiary, I mean, I think that's the smart thing to do. I'm a big fan of WWE going that route. I love the New Day. Nothing against the New Day. I'm kind of getting to one of those people that still love the New Day as an act, but, like, I want Xavier Woods to get his step-out moment. I want Xavier Woods to eventually have a run with, like many people want somebody to have a run. I think Xavier Woods is, like, the shining star of the group. Like, Big E is great. Kofi Kingston, fantastic. But Xavier Woods is epic beyond reproach, and I can't wait for him to finally get what's coming to him. You know, he had the U.S. title. I was, like, really excited they were going to go somewhere with it. So, as far as the card here, like I said, I'm very excited for it. On SmackDown, you had Mysterio taking on Almas last night. You have Apollo Crews being the highlight reel over on WWE Monday Night Raw. So, it seems like WWE is kind of balancing things out. When Braun Strowman was the big beast on Raw, Baron Corbin was the big beast over on SmackDown. When you have the human highlight reel Apollo Crews, you got, who's finally winning, you have, you know, El Idolo over on SmackDown with Almas picking up these losses, but looking damn good in the process. And I think everybody's like, well, yeah, he's having great matches, but he keeps losing. That needs to change. Well, let me remind you about a guy named Jinder Mahal. I think Jinder Mahal would know better than anything. Yeah, it's okay to take some losses because when you start getting credibility or a build out of nowhere, you at least have some history to draw on. So as far as WWE goes right now, I'm very excited for WWE Survivor Series. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the show. Are you excited for it? I love Alexa Bliss in kind of this mini GM role over the women's division. Hashtag Brooke Hogan. It's one of those things that I'm pretty excited for. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's where we're going to wrap it up today. Talking WWE, kind of like a morning show, I guess. But until next time, it's your boy Tubby Emu. Can't wait to see what we got coming out of next week's Raw and SmackDown, heading into the Survivor Series pay-per-view, which will be coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, at the Staples Center, sponsored by WWE Elite Collection. The figures, so you know you want to use code GRIM at ringsidecollectibles.com. So until next time, it's your boy Tubby Emu. We will see you all later.